Okay. And before I leave today, I brought some caulking. I'll go ahead and caulk this too. Once the caulking dries, this is going to be nice and sturdy. Granted, it's only nailed with little nails, and if you want to push on this a little bit in between these nails, you can a little bit, and it would slightly flex. But once you get the caulking down on there, it's going to be nice like that. It's going to be all nice and secure. And I'll do the nail heads before I leave, and then probably one more time I may have to do the nail heads again. When you do that with caulking, lots of times it depresses just a little bit. Painters, they probably use putty, and lots of times I've seen painters, they'll use putty and put a little bit on there and wipe it off with a putty knife and do the next one, and then you don't get those dipping in. You don't have to worry about that when you caulk on there, because it's all going to grab from this side to that side, and so one coat's going to be plenty on that, and then that's going to be nice and secure. And I've got that door fixed now. It didn't take me that long. And this strike plate is not holding right now, and plus it needs to be adjusted. Whoever installed it, the top of the latch is hitting the top edge of the strike plate, and when I get ready to paint, obviously I'll be taking this out because I'm going to be painting. If I wasn't going to paint, then I take a wood rasp bit, a metal rasp bit, put it in my drill. See, something like that with those edges on there, and that cuts through metal. And I would take that and I would just eat the top edge of this all the way up to the bottom of the screw that's mounting it, and it would take a while to do that, and then it would be up high enough. And I don't know, whoever installed this door, it almost seems like that strike should have been mounted up higher. So see, when after painting, I put the new strike in, get the strike all adjusted, I'm gonna have to move the strike plate this way a little bit, and then as I pull in, it's going to be tight, and everything lines up, and it looks really nice. Okay, so you see this this strike. It's hitting the edge, the top edge of this door latch right there, and you can see where the edge of the door latch has been rubbing. See right there, and right there, and it's just, something's keeping that from closing, because it's just not going. It's just this top rounded edge, because the edge that is marking is right there, but the top of the latch is just a hair higher than that, and just that little bit is keeping that from closing all the way. I don't know how long it's been like that, and granted, this is a bathroom. You want somebody walking in on you when you're on the pot. Oh, hi! Because the door latch isn't closing, you take your reamer bit, ream that out, and be done with it. Okay? So now I gotta make a decision on this door. Now everything is fine how I've adjusted this, and I'll adjust this later with the new doorknob, the new strike, and all that. And so I've got to look at this door to see if it's sagging or anything, and I look at this. You see this gap here is plenty big, isn't it? That tells me the door is not sagging. The line along the top is pretty straight. When I look at the bottom, I've got quite a bit of a gap. In fact, when I put the door back up, after I paint, after I put the new hinges on, I'm probably gonna angle the hinges over that way. So instead of being straight, they're gonna be like that, just barely. And that'll take up a little bit of this gap. The last thing I hate is big gaps like that on my doors. And because I'm doing all this other work on the door, I'm gonna fix it. So see, I can angle that hinge over, this hinge over, that hinge over, and I'll get this lined up really nice to where the reveal should be about 1/8 of an inch or so. You know, not much. Here, I'll show you one. I just fixed. You see that? It should be about like that, or a little bit less. Actually, you know what? That one there. I don't think I've worked on that door yet. Okay, I've got to look at that later. This is the door that was sagging before. This is the gap. About like that is like I like to see. Okay, and I sucked that hinge over. You'll have to watch that video, and you'll know how to fix a sagging door. Or go to my playlist, my main channel page. Click on playlists, and then that'll open, and then scroll through the many playlists I have, and go down to doors. Click on there, and you'll find all kinds of things about doors. And have at it. Okay, so this tells me that I don't have to work on this door anymore. It's good to go for me to pull the hinges off, pull the door down, and get it ready to be painted. There's a couple other things I have to do before I paint this door, and you'll have to watch that on another video under painting and stuff. I'll just give you one little tip. When I take these off, see all the black on here? Look at that. They're around each hinge. These hinge pin knuckles spit residue out through there when the pins get worn, and when they get rusty, or if they haven't been lubed lately. See, look, they're on the outside and over here and on the inside. And see, when they spit, when you have a raised panel door, you've got to look at that too, because look at this. Look at that right there. If I rub on that, see, I get it. Look at that. I get it all on my finger. All that needs to be cleaned. Look at this one here. See? It's right there, no lie. And on this one's usually going to fall down. You're not generally going to see any on that top edge, but of course, before I paint, I'll take my simple green. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it after I get these hinges off, because then I can get on the nooks and crannies on there, because when I get ready to paint, I don't want to paint over this stuff. And it'll do it again. Now look at that hinge there. See, you also have to see it. It'll spit right in there. Look at that. See? It gets all on there. There's more. Look at that down there. These doors are probably 15 years old. I can pretty much look on any door. See there? This is the door I've been working on. It's there. And there's some right in there. There's some down at the bottom one. And it's just kind of like the same places. See? Right there, right there. It's spit all the way over. There's some more right there. And so forth and so on. So when I pull these doors down, that's one thing. I've got to clean all this stuff off the doors before I start sanding the doors and stuff. And on the door jambs, I'm going to have to clean all that stuff off. And I'll have to get everything off these doors and the door jambs before I think about painting. It's always on white door jambs. Here it is again. See? It's going to be pretty much everywhere. And I haven't even looked at this door yet, but you see? There it is. There it is. There it is. Once you get all that residue off and you clean it and stuff and you paint, guess what? If you don't do anything else in this door, guess what's going to happen after 5 or 6 months? Same thing. And you're going to have all that on your nice new doors. Or if you got existing doors and frames and you don't want to do anything except just clean it, get your simple green out, get a little toothbrush, get your rag out and all that. You can clean all that stuff off. But just know, if you don't do anything else to these doors, hinges, and the hinge pins, hint, then it's going to happen again. So what I would do if I was saving these hinges, now mind you, I'm replacing these with brand new, so I'm not going to have to do it on this job, thank goodness. But if you're saving the hinges and all you have to do is take the hinge pin out, and then you buy multi-purpose grease, and it comes in a tube like a toothpaste tube, a little bit bigger than that, at the hardware store. pull the pin out and you roll it around in the grease and put it back down in there. That's gonna clean and keep everything lubed in here. It's gonna keep it moist. It's gonna have some grease on there, and it's gonna prevent this from happening in the near future. Any of your door hinges that are rubbing, let's say, listen to this door. Hear that? That's because in between the knuckles somewhere, it's doing that. It's not hitting the wood or anything. No, I can't make it. Oh, come on. It was doing it. There it goes again, see? Wow. If you have a noise like that, it'll do away with this. This one's squeaking too. Now you can hear that noise, that other noise, as it's rubbing. You'll get rid of all that stuff, and your doors will work better and they'll operate longer. And it's just something that's good. But because, like I say, because I'm replacing all the hinges, I'm not going to have to do it. But see, on this front door, I'm not replacing the hinges on this front door. I'm leaving these hinges alone. But you see, there's more residue in here, and I'll probably pop the door off and clean everything and do a really good job and stuff. But those hinges are going to stay. So I've got some multi-purpose grease and in a tube, and then I'll pop the hinge pins out. I'll put some grease in there and pop them back down. I just do one at a time. See, this is a 6'8" door. I'll just take the top pin off and then grease it, put it back down. Then I could take the other two off at the same time, or I could just take the bottom one off first and put it back in, put the middle one in, one at a time. I can do that. But you don't want to take the top two off at the same time, because then the door is going to start moving around when you try to swivel it up, open it and close it and stuff, and then it's a little bit more tricky. So just do one hinge pin at a time and you'll be good. That's all you'd have to do with all of your other hinges and your hinge pins, and you'll prevent all this black stuff, all this black business from getting on your nice pretty door frames and your door jambs, okay? There's a tip for you. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.